Hey, ever have something stop recording 3 times? Anyways, third time's a charm, I guess they say. This is my Breath of the Wild 2 E3 2021 trailer analysis. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. There's a lot of things to dissect from this trailer and a lot of things of note that I think hints towards the direction they're taking with this game. So, without further ado, let's get started. So here we have this opening shot of the Malice creeping in from the side. Now, if we go back here to this position, we can see that the Malice is taking over Link's arm. And the thing to take note of here specifically as well is that this is the same arm that the spectral hand was attaching itself to in the previous trailer. Now, if we continue on from here, we have more shots of the Malice creeping in. This shot of Ganondorf here coming back to life, rising from the dead, and that's almost prayer-like, stance that he's in. And to me, this signifies that he is rising Hyrule Castle with this movement. If we continue from here, more shots of the Malice creeping in. And here we see Zelda falling into the chasm below. Now, a thing to take note of in this shot is the fact that there's no Sheikah Slate on Zelda's hip. There is no Sheikah Slate attached to Zelda in this shot, at least as far as we can tell, at least from the information that they're giving us at the moment. She falls deep into this chasm, and then this is where we get the grand reveal. Skyloft 2.0, baby! Alright, so here, let me lay the groundwork of where I think they're taking this game. I believe that this game is going to have time travel or have some aspect of time travel implemented into it. And I think that is because this is the hero from 10,000 years ago. And I'll explain why. I think if we take a look here, his hair is flowing freely in the wind. We have this very distinct tunic in the armor set that we have here. And there's something of very important notice in the way that they put this trailer together. Now, if we go down, we get a good shot of this new shield with the Sheikah Slate or Sheikah Eye insignia type design on it, as well as some triangle motifs here, and the paraglider that we know and love, and we get paragliding through the sky. And this shot is just absolutely beautiful of the sky at nighttime. All these fluffy, beautiful sky, beautiful clouds. Yeah, it's amazing. So we get shots of the islands here. Some very, very defining features, some very defining architecture, very Eastern in design, stuff that we've seen kind of hinted at in Breath of the Wild and stuff in places like Kakariko Village, but very ancient looking as well. So we also see these yellow trees. I want you to remember yellow. Color temperature is going to be a big thing for this. If we continue here, color temperature again, we have these very, very warm, very yellow tones with this shot looking up towards the sky. And, be this on an island itself or back on the ground in Hyrule. But we have, again, take notice, every time that we see the sky and see these islands, we see this character. We see this guy specifically. Now, if we progress forward from here, we get this guy here. Now, firstly, is that a zone eye swirl? No, but this is obviously some type of new boss or enemy in and of itself. And, this stone golem type structure looks very cool, very interesting. And I'm just so excited that we have new enemy designs for one. That's a confirmation in and of itself. But the thing to really take note of from this is the fact that we have the sky architecture showing up in this area. So what this could be hinting at is that, the land of Hyrule and the surface below is going to be, the Breath of the Wild stuff that we're familiar with, and then, the new implementations and the new things, and the new enemies, potential dungeons, they might just be dedicated to the sky itself. Let us continue. So in this shot, do we want to take a guess as to what it is we're going to be looking for that's missing? Yep, you guessed it. No Sheikah Slate. Now, this potentially back here could be a shrine. I can't really tell super well. It could just also be like a structure, like a tower or something that is disintegrated. Can't really tell super well. But the main thing of note here is that there is still not a big, showing of Sheikah technology anywhere else in the background, and no Sheikah slate on Link's hip. Now, a big huge thing for me out of this was this: a stone talus with a bokoblin encampment on top of it. That is so cool. Now, not only is this a good way to differentiate enemy variety and stuff from what we're used to in the original Breath of the Wild, but this is also going to make for more challenging encounters, because we're going to have to worry about taking out these bokoblins before we can get to that stone talus. Of note, the bokoblins have horns now. Maybe that's because they're infused with a more pure concentration of malice from Ganondorf. I don't know, and it's making them morph and change their evolution. I don't know, but yeah, let's proceed. Now, here's an interesting one. We see the spectral hand going into the body of what would presumably be Link. Now, of note, there is Gerudo insignia and Gerudo lettering and on this stone structure here that Link is laying down on. But if we up the exposure a little bit, you can see it a little bit more clearly. Link doesn't have a shirt on, and this looks like the underwear that he has when he comes out of the Shrine of Resurrection. So what this leads me to believe is that maybe this isn't Link. Because, and granted, this could just be there could be a lot of change that we've seen from the previous trailer, so, kind of take this with a grain of salt. But, when we saw the spectral hand attaching itself to Link in the first trailer, Link was garbed in his hero's tunic, or the champion's tunic, rather. So the fact that he isn't wearing a shirt here and is kind of in the same things that we saw him wearing at the start of the original Breath of the Wild is very, very interesting to me. Now, here is what I think is the nail in the coffin to my time travel theory. So we see here with the spectral hand that we are getting what looks like Sheikah Slate abilities with like stasis. But what's this? It's going back in time. Super, super interesting stuff there. Now, this is also a really cool shot because this looks like a boss fight to me. If not, a very cool enemy encounter. We see this sort of kind of, pedestal area here where I presume a chest would appear. But we got this Moldorm-looking enemy here guarding over it, and this super interesting dragon head type item that Link's arm is inside of at this moment. Now, if we play this forward, it's a flamethrower. And we can also take note that it has the similar design pattern that the dragon statues of the Zonai ruins in the areas that it has. So very obviously a tie-in to the Zonai design here with this dragon thing, and the dragon being tied to courage and Link being able to use this. So if it's not some sort of ability, we are at least getting confirmation of items in this, and that's so, so cool. To me, this is going to be amazing what we can do with burning the grass and using the parasail. Now this is a super interesting thing here. We see this water droplet, but it turns into, what's this? Our hero that may or may not be Link morphing through structures. And I want to point out again, the only time we see this guy is when it's in the sky. We don't see the Link that we know in this sky at any point in this trailer. But this Sheikah, or this ability, this arm ability that we're getting from this is super interesting. I love the implications that it could have. And from what it looks like here, if we go back to the water droplet, it looks to me like maybe there's only key points to where we can use this ability, like you have to be underneath a puddle or something like that. Yeah, so interesting. Big shot of the sky. Here we have, also of important note, it looks like we have Thundra Plateau over here. And this is kind of looking off towards the Gerudo Highlands or the Tabantha regions and stuff like that. Just for kind of placement of this. Again, more of this architecture here. Yeah, super interesting. And then we have the big shot of Hyrule Castle coming up out of the ground. Malice pouring forth as Ganondorf rises. Now, here's a very, very interesting thing that I want to point out as well. This trailer has made very, very clear that there's islands in the sky. In this shot, I don't see a single floating island besides Hyrule Castle. Now, this could just be early in the game before the other ones rise into the sky, but it could also be that we're dealing with a different time period because of that same exact reason. Did you notice Zelda's lullaby there at the end? Yeah, very interesting. Using the same kind of instruments and timbre that we're used to from the original Breath of the Wild. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Coming out next year, 2022, spring release. I'm calling it now. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this analysis. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. Are you excited for Breath of the Wild 2? I know I sure as hell am. Look at this, man. This is beautiful. So cool. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. If you haven't already, make sure that you are subscribed for more Breath of the Wild 2 content, more theories, more reactions, more discussions, all sorts of things to come. Thank you guys, as always. Like the video, share it with a friend. And until next time, I will see you in the next one.